There's no good segue to go from the saddest news to the absolute happiest news. So I'm just gonna do it. Yinka Yusuf, like I said,
Yes, sir.
A beatdown broke out in the northwest corner of London last Wednesday. I'm not a I told you so kind of person, but I told you also. But y'all don't listen. Y'all don't listen. I tried and I tried and I tried. I told you that Madrid may have a chance at La Liga because they were not gonna be playing in the Champions League after this round. You thought I was crazy. Yinka, without Thibaut Courtois.
You want me to respond? You want me to respond to that, or you want?
I'm not done.
Finish?
I'm not done. Yeah,
okay,
you haven't earned the right to respond because you were sitting on the fence. So you can sit on the fence for 2 more minutes while I speak. Sit on the fence for 2 more minutes.
It was because you paused for a minute. I thought you were expecting.
Oh, I'm not done.
Me, or you're suggesting.
You can. If you were, yes, you should. Yes, you should. You can. If you were a better friend to me, what you should have done that night, you should have called me and be like, "Let's record right now. Let's record right now because this is the greatest day of your life, my friend." But you're not a good friend. You're not a good friend. So you let me wait Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday. We're recording on Sunday night. You can't need better friends. I need better friends. You guys.
I actually should probably not let you record today, so that it is better you gloat after you've actually knocked out Madrid.
No. But see, that's not my nature. That's not my nature.
Sincerely hope this your gloating is not premature. I sincerely hope. Go ahead and gloat.
So,
go ahead.
Okay, so I will take 2 more minutes, then I'll turn it over to you. What did I say?
Take all you want.
What did I say when the draw came out?
Yes.
I reminded everybody of 2006, the year of our Lord, 2006.
Yes.
Okay. We went. The first leg was at the Bernabeu. They had all the Galacticos. Was Zidane still there at the time?
I
think so. I think it was. Beckham was there.
I can't remember.
Beckham was there. Roberto Carlos was there. All of them were there. Right?
Zidane wasn't there yet. I don't think he was there yet.
Maybe Zidane wasn't there. I don't know. But Roberto Carlos was there. Okay. Beckham was there. Raul was there.
R9 was there.
R9, the original Ronaldo. The only Ronaldo we recognize on this show.
Yep.
Right? Was there. 1-0. They didn't score a goal. And then a week later, they came to London, and it was a war of attrition. War of attrition, goalless draw. Arsenal proceeds to. That was the quarterfinals too. It was the quarterfinals too, because Arsenal now plays Villarreal in the semifinals.
The semis, then Barca in the finals. Yeah.
Okay, that didn't end well. So what I said was, remember 2006, right? And I understand Gabriel, blah blah blah. No Gabriel. I don't remember the last time Arsenal conceded 4 goals, 3 goals, and they hardly concede 2. Right? And I blame everyone, including even Arsenal fans. Even Arsenal fans don't know how good their team is. You know what I mean? Now, the team is not complete. Their story is not written, right? But the goal is not perfection. The goal is to put in the work and show up every day. This is what I tell my kids. Yinka, you're responsible for your effort, not the result. I don't care about the result. I care that you make me proud every day by showing up, put in the best effort you can put in with your God-given ability. When I watch my daughter play, I'm not looking for her to necessarily, outplay or outrun our own abilities, but I know what you can do. Do the best you can. The one thing about Arsenal, they do not leave anything on. They don't leave anything on the field. They put everything out there. And that's because of Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta is not Xavi, is not Iniesta. When he played, even though he wasn't blessed with great health or great speed, he got everything out of his body. Okay. And this is why it takes him forever to sign a player, because he's a serious man. Look, I'm not the hugest fan of Arteta, but I respect as a coach, as a player, I loved him to death. Right. As a coach, it took a while to warm up to him, but I've always supported him. I've not always loved him as much as I love him as a player. But nobody works harder than this dude. Right? Nobody works harder than this dude. He will make mistakes. And I can say the same about Amorim, okay, which we'll get to Man U. This is what I love about coaches. Take this thing as seriously as your players take it. Like Pep can fail, but Pep will not fail for a lack of trying, right? Pep can be stubborn, but Pep will not fail for a lack of trying. And I told you guys, you give Arteta the international break, it will cook something up. And this is not some stupid social media Arteta is cooking nonsense. This is the man will find solutions to problems you present to him, Yinka. Because it doesn't just go home to count his money. It does this stuff for real. Right? And I'm wondering, at this idiots on ESPN said we were going to get beat 4-0. When was the last time? Do you watch the game? When was the last time anyone scored 4-0 against Arsenal or 4 goals against Arsenal? Arsenal doesn't even play 4-4. The only team that scored, 7 goals in the previous round was Arsenal. When we were going to PSV, they predicted we might lose. We go there and we 7-1? And it's like, oh, yeah, we thought that was going to happen. No, you said we were going to lose, Inca. Not you. ESPN said we were going to lose. And then we come back home and it's a draw, right? But De Jong looked like he was going to go home and kill somebody's dog on that day. They said he was a better striker than anybody Arsenal had. We scored 7 goals in your house. And it was like crickets. Like, nothing to see here. We thought that was going to happen. No, you did not. No, you did not. Arsenal has lost once in the Champions League. It was a dubious penalty. Dubious penalty. So it's Liverpool, Barcelona, Arsenal. Dubious penalty. But they're going to be dropped 4-0 by Real. Which Real? The same one that lost to Valencia? Valencia that made me eat crow because I thought they would be in the top 4. And they were in relegation for more than half of the season. Now they're like 13th. I'm like, what am I missing? What am I missing? Is Ancelotti doing any work on the training pitch? And don't get me wrong, Real could have scored 3 goals in London because they are that good. They're more athletic than Arsenal. They're more naturally gifted than Arsenal. They could have scored 3. But without Courtois, Yinka, Arsenal had 12 shots, 11 on goal. 11 on goal. And they scored 3 times. That means this guy had 8 saves. Now, some of them were like in the same sequence. So it wasn't like Arsenal were going to score 8 goals. Some of it was like 3. There was a time it was 3 in a row. There was a time it was 2 in a row. So that would have been 1 goal action. You don't get 2 goals for that. But the point is, it wasn't bad marksmanship. It was amazing goalkeeping. You could argue the man of the match was Courtois. Even though Partey bossed the midfield, even though, Rice scored 2 crazy goals, even though Saka, had some crazy chances, you could argue the best player on the pitch was Thibaut Courtois. So yes, they could have scored 3 times, but Arsenal could have scored 6. So, Yinka, I rest my case. I couldn't have been happier. I screamed at my TV at the second goal, but I was never shocked. None of it shocked me. As great as the goals were, it was never in doubt for me. Maybe I'm crazy. Go for it, Yinka.
Okay, so point of correction, you were right. Zidane was in 2006.
Oh, yeah, Zidane was on that team. Yeah,
Zidane was on that team. So it was R9, Zidane, Robinho, Guti, Beckham, and Raul, and the rest of them. Yeah,
Roberto Carlos.
Roberto Carlos too was there. Casillas was
goalkeeper. Goalkeeper, Yinka.
Was Casillas.
Casillas.
Yeah, it was Casillas.
And Yinka, Arsenal's back line was,
It
Senderos and
was
Toure.
Senderos, Toure, Eboyi, and Matthew Flamini. Flamini played left
Flamini,
back.
yeah. Yeah.
Flamini played left back. I have the whole lineup here. Actually, I had to bring it up just to so that we don't give our listeners the wrong info. So that's it.
Okay.
I'm happy. Yeah. So I watched that game with my nephew that really that's really mad at Real Madrid and Ancelotti.
Yeah.
I watched the game at his place. So I carried my boys. In fact, the whole family we watched the game with him. I was happy. Let me first caveat this whole premise with that. Yeah, see guys, I'm wearing an Arsenal jersey. I was happy, right?
Oh my gosh!
But to be honest, there were so many pivotal situations in that game that game could have swung in any direction. Any direction. First things first. Mbappe had a couple of one-on-ones, right?
Yeah.
Before Arsenal had their chances that if he had buried any of those, Akin, we might not be saying what we're saying. Let's be fair. And I think that kind of negates Courtois' brilliance because Courtois had he had some saves. And not only Courtois, there's so many goal line clearances, one by Alaba,
Bellingham,
and the other one by
Bellingham, Alaba. Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, Yinka, that's the thing. You count the saves, but there was also the goal line clearances where the goalkeeper would not have gotten
the goal line clearances. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my position on this is very simple. I'm happy with the 3-0 scoreline. I'm ecstatic about it, right? But to some extent, I think, it kind of flattered Arsenal a bit. And let me explain. Yeah.
Okay.
The chances that Courtois saved, like 3 or 4 out of them were poor finishes by Arsenal. Same thing with what's his name? Mbappe's own with Raya. He wanted to do the Maradona, look this way, put the ball this way. It didn't work, right? Vinny Jr. also had some crazy where he should have laid the ball off earlier and decided to just keep running. That would have been an Mbappe one-on-one. This was before Arsenal scored a goal at all. Yeah? So go back to my first point. Things could have changed in that game. Things could have changed if Real Madrid scored first. Yeah? That's number one. Number two, Akin, all these your gloating that you're doing, you need to create a small altar. A small altar for Declan Rice, right? In that corner in your basement, right? Where you worship Declan Rice. Yeah? Because I'm just saying that jokingly, but you get my point. Those 2 free kicks, when I saw the first one, and the first one entered, I was like, wow. When they showed the replay, the bend of that ball is like a reverse Roberto Carlos. The ball went way out of goal, then curved back into the goal, right? If you had 2 Thibaut Courtois in the post for that first one, he ain't catching it. It's not going to get to
Won't
it.
matter. Won't matter.
Now,
yep.
That's when Rice free kicks turned into London buses that you wait for one forever and 2 come at the same time. Because he scored that second one, Akin. My son said, imagine if he puts it in the top bins again. I was like, forget it. It's not going to happen. And you won't believe it. That is the sweetest, the sweetest, I don't know what the perfect English is. Permit me if this English is wrong. The sweetestly hit free kick in a long time. There is no better place he could have put the ball. There is no better pace that ball could have traveled at. Yeah? It was perfection. Put 5 Thibaut Courtois in goal. He is not saving that. So those 2 goals, for me, were blessings from the heavens above, right?
The football gods.
From the football gods. Because without those 2 free kicks, Akin, the game is just 1-0. The game is just 1-0.
Or goalless.
All goalless. Right? So for me, once again, I am happy, extremely happy. To some extent, I believe for the first time in a long time, the football god said, you know what, you guys have suffered enough. Let me give you this day. Yeah? Because those 2 free kicks, Akin, we will never, or let me say we'll never, but I'm almost certain we
You
will
can say
almost
never.
never see anything like that again
You
from
can say
Declan
never.
Rice.
Because you know what?
Something like that again.
You know
Yeah.
what? We never saw the Roberto Carlos one again. The one against France.
Again.
We never saw it again.
Yeah.
So you can say we'll never.
So I'm like, this was just delivered to us on a platter of gold by the football gods. I'm happy about that. Now let me flip to Real Madrid. Yeah?
Okay.
Because the question is, did Arsenal win it or did Madrid lose it? So for me, I think it's a bit of both. Like you said, Arteta played probably the best football Arsenal have played this season. All through this season. Everybody was on point. Even Merino, that is usually the striker, was playing like a false 9. He was dropping into midfield and moving out with the midfield, and then he'll be the farthest forward. And that's how he scored. Got the goal. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's how he got the goal. So, perfection from Arsenal, right? Arteta did his own work and the team delivered. Flip to Madrid. Ancelotti should be flogged for multiple reasons. Now, this is the pundit in me. As if Arsenal fan, I'm happy he did what he did. I hope he's not listening to this so that he doesn't capitalize on it the next game. Why on earth are you playing Arsenal and you start Luka Modric? And you start him as a deep line playmaker against Arsenal? Why? Please tell me.
So, he played a double pivot with Camavinga and Luka Modric, right? The player with the most experience playing against Arsenal on that team is Luka Modric from his Spurs days, right? They also expected, Odegaard has been what we call in Nigeria a short one since he got back from his injury, meaning he might as well not be there. He runs around a lot, work done is 0. Partey cannot run, right? You got to give Partey time for him to be effective now at this stage in his career. So they thought they could use the craft and athletic ability of Camavinga and the guile and brain of Modric and experience, and they could overrun, the midfield, right? That's what they thought. And they came out in their 4-4-2, but their 4-4-2 only works if Rodrigo takes the midfielder part of the 4-4-2 seriously, right? And who was the guy on the left? If Bellingham takes the midfielder part of it seriously. If Bellingham ends up doing the Stevie G thing, where he's everywhere except where he's supposed to be, the 4-4-2 breaks down, right? So what you saw, though, was Mbappe and Vinny Jr. were both forwards and wingers at the same time. And you're telling them to pounce. You have this multi-talented team, and you tell them to go to London against a team that is not experienced in the Champions League, and you tell them to play on the counter. Why is Real Madrid? Because when I look at, we talked about this last week. When I look at Barcelona, I'm like, Barcelona may have more young, talented kids. Barcelona does not have more established stars. So, in my opinion, they should not look better than Real Madrid. That is a coaching miss, in my opinion. They have people that can play the ball at Real Madrid. If they're not playing the ball, that's on the coach.
So, Akin, what you said now is it's contradicting each other.
Tell me.
If you're going to play on the counter, you need people in that midfield to break up play, then you can spring the counter. Which play is Luka Modric going to break up, please?
Okay, to be clear, I'm saying they should not have been set up to play on the counter. That's my real point.
We're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing. So if you they set up to play on the counter. See, and this might be Ancelotti respecting Arsenal to say this guy.
What is there to respect? Arsenal doesn't score goals.
Hold on. But let me tell you, this is the template that has worked for almost all the losses or games that Arsenal has suffered this season is the teams coming to say, low block, break up
Park
play,
the
let
bus.
these guys
Yeah.
counter. That's how West Ham beat us. That's how, so I'm not really mad at that. You are right that a Real Madrid should not be coming to play counter. But he thought that's the template that worked. We're going to play that. But yet you have tools at your disposal that you can use to play that better. Why isn't Freddy Valverde starting in central midfield with Camavinga?
Played him at right back.
Played him at right back. So point number one. Point number two. Akin, who is Arsenal's weakest link in that lineup? Or who was on
Kivia.
Friday?
Jacob
God bless you.
Kivia. Yeah.
So why on earth is Kylian Mbappe turning into Saliba's girlfriend throughout the game? No, this is just common sense. What I would expect Ancelotti to say, that guy is jittery. That guy is not. He didn't expect to play this game. Go leave Saliba. Don't drift to the left. Stick with this guy. Make him uncomfortable.
A couple of things, Yinka. So number one, Vinny Jr. was completely ineffective. Gilbert tried to bury me when I mentioned Urian Timber. And I said I would take Urian Timber against any right back in the world defensively. Any day.
It's probably the best right back in football today.
And that's the
I'm
thing.
not saying this as an Arsenal fan.
And to be honest, and this is why, look, Arteta lies all the time, like every other coach does. Yeah. Arteta is very insightful when he's not lying. When they asked him about Urian Timber, it's like, you guys are saying things we did not know he had. As in, when I went to buy this guy, I did not know this about him. Like, excuse me, Mr. Urian Timber, I was not familiar with your game. Anyone that says they knew what they were getting, no, they're lying, Yinka. That's the one. I'm like, oh, Arteta just told the truth. Because there's no way. I mean, this is a guy that's playing with that injury. I mean, look, it falls down every game because it's still recovering. This guy, okay, it may not have the most refined going forward game, even though it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all, right? It's definitely better than Ben White for not having played in the system for 3 years like Ben White. It's more natural. Yeah. But defense, bro, Vinny was struggling. And that's why your boy, Vinny was struggling, Rodrigo was struggling to defend, which is why your boy was like, am I a central striker? Do I have a partner right next to me? Where do I go? You know what I mean? So which is why he finds himself on the left. He finds himself on the left again. And Saliba is just like, thank you. I'll take this.
So they just gave Kivio a vacation, 90 minutes vacation on the most jittery night of his life.
I told you it was the man of the match. I told you it was the man of the match against Everton. I told you this.
Hakim, there is no way, right? Mbappe on Kivio is an accident waiting to happen. Not because Kivio is not a good defender. It's because Kivio is not fast. He does not have pace.
Kivio is not a good defender.
No. And see, I'll say this. If you're a Polish international, you're good enough. You were a Polish international before you came to Arsenal, right?
That's true.
I'm not gonna shit. That's true. I'm not gonna, bid on him. He's a good defender. He's a good defender. What he lacks is pace, right? His passing is elite. Short passing, long passing. He can really control the ball. His kryptonite is pace,
speed. Yeah.
He's not fast at all. His acceleration is poor. His top speed is poor. He does not have pace. Mbappe would have given him a headache. But am I happy that Ancelotti did all of this? Aki, I'm ecstatic. Now, here is the final point from me.
Okay.
Please. I always say this thing. There is always a first time. My son was saying, I told him, okay. So he came in this morning, the eldest. He came in this morning, I was like, that he saw something on the internet where somebody did some mock-up video and they said, injury time and Mbappe scores the 4th goal for Real Madrid and Arsenal is out. Hold on. And he's like, Dad, if that happens, I will just leave. I will I will not show up in school. I will not. I will not open my socials for a long time because I have already mocked the life out of people, and I'm like, son, lesson number one: when you're digging a grave for people, don't dig it too deep, just in case you fall into it. So that's me. I'm not gloating yet,
I
right?
know. I know.
I'm not gloating yet. There is a second leg to play. And this is Real Madrid that we're talking about, right? All it takes is a 10th-minute red card for a ridiculous foul on somebody, and Arsenal's down to 10, and what has never happened before can then happen. So, if I believe the tie is over, no, I want to believe the tie is over, but I'm extremely cautious, right? I know Arsenal has not conceded more than 2 goals this season. I get all of that, right? But there's always a first time. I will not say anything or gloat until Wednesday evening. Yeah?
Okay.
And even at that, I will be cautious. You know why? Because we haven't won anything.
I understand all that.
There's no trophy but beating Real Madrid.
I understand all that. Yinka,
So there's really nothing to gloat about. Yeah?
Yinka,
So that's the only answer I will give you.
You sound
You
like
can
a
go ahead.
you sound like a prototypical and typical bedwetting Arsenal fan. And I'm not liking you very much right now. Right? You all have taken the joy out of watching the game. Right? Your coach.
Yeah, I enjoyed the game. It's the gloating afterwards that I don't like, that I'm against.
Why are you watching the game if you can't gloat? Why are you watching if you can't gloat?
No, I'm not here for banter. I'm here to analyze, watch the game, enjoy the
here for
football,
banter.
Right? No.
I'm here for banter.
I'm beyond.
I'm
beyond
and
banter.
Yinka, you know what? I'm here for all the smoke, all of them. All of them, their moms and dads and girlfriends, they can all bring it. Okay, I'm here for all of it. Because you know why? Yinka,
why?
we've done the work. Okay, we've done the work. We've been through the doldrums, Yinka. I sat through 17-3. What was 17-3, Yinka? There was one season.
Bayern.
Okay, no. I'm not even talking about Bayern. Domestic against City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. We lost a combined 17-3 in one season. And they were paying our players to show up. It wasn't like they put replacement players, And the 3, if memory serves, maybe it was 17-5, I can't remember. The 3 we scored in one game, 6-3 against Man City. So maybe it was 17-5, And I've talked about Wenger's 1000th game before. We lost 6-0 to Chelsea on his 1000th game. And the man did not resign at halftime. It did not resign at full time. It's players this is the club I supported, Yinka. I've been through that. And now I have a coach that sits down and says, what do I need for this game? And tells, let's be honest, Yinka, I was asking my wife today, and we'll talk about my wife and her family, a Liverpool supporting family, when we get to the EPL. I have something for them as well. Yinka, if they put the current squad, I don't care who they buy in the summer. Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea and Arsenal freeze their squad today, injured and healthy, and say take a squad of 25 into next season. Yinka, don't blink. Tell me who you're taking. I'm taking City. Who are you taking?
Squad of 25 into next season.
Yes, you cannot buy anybody else.
I'm taking City too.
I'm like, I don't care what happened to City DC. It's not even close.
I'm taking City too.
And I don't care who coaches them. You're not choosing a coach, you're choosing the players. I don't care who fought with their wife or girlfriend or whatever. So I'm like, good for Liverpool, right? They are this season's 2015, 2016 Leicester, right? Other people didn't show up. They won the league.
Maybe not.
More talented. No, more talented. Yinka, we can't have it both ways. It can't be that I felt sorry for them when they were coming third last season because of all the injuries. And then this season, injuries don't matter. I won't play that.
I totally agree with you.
Okay, we're not going to do that.
To support your point, Akin, they were top in January, right? It was the injuries that made them fade away to third, right? So if they had a full strength, if they were at full strength last season, it might have been a 3-horse race to the end of
Yeah,
the
it
season.
should have been. It should have
It
been.
should have been.
So
So everybody saying Liverpool was out of it. This was Arsenal's time to win. That's just nonsense. But go ahead.
But Yinka, I was accused today
Mhm.
by my wife, and I've been accused many times by her brother, and I've been accused by my wife's daughter, aka also my daughter. And they all, like the two women in this equation refuse to watch the highlights of Arsenal Real Madrid because they're haters. On Wednesday, they refuse to watch. And then they claim that only you are objective about Liverpool and that I did not give them their flowers. So I'm saying now, yes, you people are going to win the league. Whoopty freaking do. Congratulations, you're Leicester. Congratulations, you're Leicester. But again, I try to be fair. I don't blame Klopp. Klopp scored 97 or 99 points and came second. That is not about Klopp. That is about City's financial doping. You know what I mean? I don't know how many points Liverpool are going to finish with, but it's not going to approach 95 or 99 or 97. So again, you're going to win the league. Congratulations, right? I think City had the best squad. I chose Arsenal to win in spite of City's better squad, right?
Yeah.
It did not happen. You guys are going to win, right? You're not a great team. You don't have to take my word for it. You're not a great team, right? But you would have played the best ball from beginning to the end this season, and you would have deserved it. And ultimately, what is the league? It's a relative test.
Yeah.
Over 38 games, who was the best? It's not an absolute test. It's not an all-time test. Leicester got relegated after what? 2 seasons after they won.
Yep.
And they're gonna win with 10 points. They won with 10 points. Liverpool might win with 10 points as well. So again, congratulations. You're the Leicester of 2025. You know what I mean? 9 seasons later, you're the Leicester. Congratulations. Take your flowers. Yinka,
yes, sir.
What's your prediction? Well, no, hold on. What's your prediction for Wednesday?
Okay, that was going to be my question.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a draw. And I sincerely, I mean, that's what I think is going to happen. Somebody said Arteta will go there and play haram football. And I'm like, I don't really.
What does that mean? What does that even mean? Like he'll park the bus? Like he'll park the bus?
Exactly. That he'll pack the train, pack everything. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't really think so. The only concern for me, and I'll be honest with you, Arsenal are down to their bare bones. We don't have right now. Arsenal does not have a backup centre back. The backup centre back is playing right back. It's Timber.
Yeah.
Right. Then the backup right back is playing centre midfield, which is
they have Rice.
Yeah.
Rice can play centre back.
But he can.
You don't want that to happen.
He has not. I don't mind, but he hasn't played that this season.
No, I'm saying we don't want that to happen. Yeah.
We don't want that to happen. That's my worry. That's my concern, right? And number 2 concern, it is Real Madrid. It is Florentino Perez. It is European football. I'm just hoping it's a fair game because something tells me something ridiculous might just happen. And Arsenal will need to play against the elements, right, to survive whatever is coming their way at Madrid.
So there's a couple things that happened after that third goal, right? Because I think Arsenal scored 3 goals in 17 minutes. Yeah. After that third goal, Real Madrid had plenty of time to pull one back. They never looked like doing it. Like, just being honest, they never looked like doing it, right?
Yeah.
They were shell-shocked. Were shell-shocked. And here's the thing. I keep going back to ESPN, but the ESPN pundits, If we had won 1-0, they would have been ashamed because they didn't even give us a chance for 1-0. They didn't even give us a chance for a goalless draw, Yinka. They didn't even say, oh, we can keep it.
Nobody
They
gave us
didn't
a
give us
chance.
nothing.
Nobody gave us a chance. Nobody.
And again, it was like PSV versus Arsenal did not happen. That's what pissed me off the most. It was like you go to another big European team in the round of 16 and you put 7 past them in their own house. And it's crickets. I've never seen such disrespect in my football watching life. This is not like Ludo Goretz. Ludo Goretz found their way into the knockout stage, Yinka. This is former European champions, PSV.
Ludo Goretz. Don't disrespect Ludo Goretz. They're the Bulgarian champion. What do you mean?
But Yinka, this is former European champions, PSV. Yinka, come on. You put 7 past them. Are you crazy? Okay, so my prediction is Arsenal will win the game on Wednesday, and we'll move forward. Now that doesn't mean that Arsenal automatically will beat PSG because they beat PSG before. No, this is a different PSG team.
It's a different game,
and it doesn't even mean
different ball game altogether.
It doesn't mean PSG will get past Villa.